Hello and welcome to the very chaotic start of the vlog. They may sound like they're screaming in terror. They're not. Those are my nieces. You cannot see their faces, but I promise they are laughing and they are playing, and their older sister is chasing them with a toy dinosaur. You know exactly. Dinosaur, a toy dragon. You know exactly which one it is because it's the one that sits on top of my bookshelf. You've seen it in videos. But today I want to do a Kindle Unlimited reading vlog. You can even hear me over the kids playing. But first I'm going to play The Sims. In true me fashion, I told you we're doing a Kindle Unlimited vlog and proceeded to play video games with my nieces and nephew for several hours. But I am at like the 12% mark of this book here, All Yours, which is something someone commented on one of my videos to check out. So I'm reading it now, and I didn't even tell you what the book was about. So this book follows a woman named Cleo, I think. Cleo or Chloe, something. She works at this like wildlife preservation park, and the owner has passed away and a new person has inherited it, and he is a little weird from what I understand. I don't fully know yet, but he brings this massive statue of what he says is a crocodile demon that every 10 years he escapes his stone prison, and whoever binds him is able to harness his powers. My girl's like, cool, we gotta like run this place, right? Like we need money. And Mr. Demon statue guy sure is a demon and comes to life, and as romance novels tend to do, especially monster romances, he's like, mine, to our main female character. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I just know that he's visiting her in her dreams. It's super short. It's like a little over 100 pages. So I am going to make progress on that. I should be able to finish it by tomorrow. But unlike our last vlog, which I really loved, we're going to actually do some reading in this vlog. This is an angle that I'm going to choose to use. Ignore the fact that my hair literally is struggling for moisture right now. It's 8 p.m. I'm going to bed. That's a tomorrow problem. I went to read a Kindle Unlimited book, the one I told you about, All Yours, I think it's called, which I'm enjoying, but it's very porn without plot so far. So here's where I'm at with reading All Yours. So it's porn without plot, and I'm enjoying it because it has really strong characters, and I can tell the world's gonna be really interesting. But here's where I'm faltering with this book. We're in our world. We're in this current version of reality. Magic doesn't exist, demons don't exist, monsters don't exist. And that is very much the mindset that our hero, Cleo, is in. And she's grieving. She's grieving the loss of someone who was like a mother to her. And here's our monster guy, Mr. Giant Crocodile Man. He comes out, she finds him, he's in her house, and they're immediately like fucking, and he's very much like Dom, and she's just like very submissive to him. And to me, that completely breaks the suspension of disbelief, because I'm like, we're in our world. There is no reason why she would see a giant crocodile person and be like, I have to fuck him. Unless this is like a fated mate's story, in which case it needs to be more prominent and developed before we get to the sex scene, because we're getting to the sex scene and I am having such a hard time believing that she would jump into the sack with what she knows to be a giant monster who she thinks was a statue. Like, that would boggle the mind and not boggle it to horniness. I'm presuming he has some kind of control over her, but we'll see. I went to continue with that book on Kindle Unlimited, and Amazon went, eat, because I canceled my Kindle Unlimited subscription. I canceled it so that I could purchase a yearly subscription for $80. Kindle Unlimited is $9.99 per month, which breaks down to about $120 a year. Why would I pay $120 a year when I could pay $80 a year? So I'm going to gift myself the gift of Kindle Unlimited, and I'm going to make this pretty reading vlog heavy, because my most recent vlog, which would have gone up last week, was very life heavy because I was in a slump. I'm not in the slump anymore. I feel ready to read and I'm excited. I'm also going to give you the update on the other Kindle Unlimited book that I'm reading with this really terrible angle. Oh my gosh, my camera worked. So I'm reading The Shuddering by Anya Alborn. And you all know I read this book here last year for Monsterween and I really, really loved it. Can I change this? Okay, so I'm reading The Shuddering, and The Shuddering follows this group of friends who go up to this cabin in the woods because like one of them is leaving, so it's like a goodbye party, a final get together, and there are monsters in these mountains. If you've ever played Until Dawn, kind of like that energy is what I'm getting, but it's a little bit heavy on the rich people drama, which I don't always mind, but we also have this like failed relationship that seems to be very central to the story for these couple of characters, and like we're alternating points of view, and that relationship is really annoying me because one, there's no context for why the relationship was so good and why our female character was so fucking obsessed with this man, even though she literally just divorced her husband. She's still thinking about her high school boyfriend.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
I don't know why. Also, her high school boyfriend brings his girlfriend on this trip and they have this very, very weird chemistry and connection. And I'm like, you are emotionally cheating on your girlfriend right now. Maybe not yet, but you will be. And I don't like that. I don't like that they're even having conversations about like being romantic and that our main female character, one of them, is pining so hard for her high school boyfriend, even though she's in her 30s at this point. I am confused. I don't get it. And honestly, it seems like this man even ate shit. So I don't get why she's pining for him. And I'm like, shh. Enough with the drama. Get to the killing. There's literally fucking monsters in the mountains. Literally. We're gonna get there. I know we're gonna get there. There's like a whole snowboarding and skiing element to the story. We've already had multiple murders with like various side characters that really don't matter. Like they're not even part of our main group. It's just cutting to scenes where this is happening. My thoughts are mid right now. I'm like, But let me repurchase Kindle Unlimited and then I'll see you with my next update for however much progress I make in both of these books. I'm hoping to finish the monster one here relatively soon, so we shall see. Good morning. I am purposely showing this angle just to show you how much I have to clean up. I spent some time last night cleaning up after the kids left. There's still a lot left. If you had small children in your home for an extended period of time, they have messy play, so that's totally fine. I'm gonna pick that up. I'm making breakfast right now. I really love this breakfast that I'm obsessed with right now, which is sauteed kale and mushroom with one like sunny side up egg, some bacon on arepa with feta cheese. Really, really good. But I'm also gonna garden. This is gonna be a very intensive day of cleaning, but after breakfast I do have therapy and then I have to run to the bank, but then I'll be back to read and to clean. It's not too bad until I pan over and you see the toys and the gardening mess, the picture frame that fell off of the wall. So lots of things to get done this morning. Hello, it is later in the day. I just finished editing the London vlog, which will have gone up before this one, so if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. It's very fun, just a bunch of clips of my solo trip to London. But I wanted to update you all, and then I'm deciding to put a pause on this book here, which I hate because I love and appreciate every single one of you who leaves recommendations in my comment sections. I'm always so grateful, even if the book doesn't always work for me. In this case, I think this book could work for me later on. Right now, I'm just having a very hard time suspending my disbelief because of how quickly our heroine jumped into bed with a man who is literally a crocodile, and because in this world monsters don't exist, the disbelief has not been suspended for me because she should be shocked and terrified, and her reaction doesn't really make sense to me in the context of the world that she is living in. But I can feel that I do want to read some alien romance, so I'm continuing with this book here, I Married a Minotaur, in the Prime Mating series. That's my garlic, look how tall she got. In the Prime Mating series by Regine Abel, I Married a Minotaur is on the same planet and in the same world as I Married a Birdman, and that the Minotaur in I Married a Birdman are like the rivals to the bird people, the threat on the planet, because Minotaurs have like seasons where their hormones essentially make them very, very aggressive and wanting to fight. And in this book, we're following the leader of the Minotaur people and his struggle to achieve peace and balance with his people. We have his love interest, who has just been arrested and sentenced to 20 years of prison because she was smuggling illegal electronic parts, and her partner essentially sold her out and put all of the blame on her, even though she had a very minor role. I'm assuming she's going to be able to get it out by marrying Mr. Minotaur Man. And the reason why this book, just being more clear and specific about why the one I'm choosing to pause and this one, even though they're very similar in their context, work for me, is that this world is already fully established, and it is very well known that all species can travel between galaxies, between planets, that there are multiple species. People are very familiar with multiple species. There's a full setup. So our female character and our male character, when they meet, it's not going to be any shock to them that they're not from the same species. It's just an established fact, and it's less of like a plot hole point. I'm going to continue with that. Mal's going to start Sprint in a few minutes, and I'm going to put dinner in the oven pretty soon. And again, I really want to emphasize, thank you so much to anyone who ever takes the time to comment on my videos and to give me recommendations of things that I will like. I always appreciate that. And if I don't like the recommendation, that doesn't mean anything. I'm such a mood reader. It just means it didn't work for me. And I really want to emphasize, thank you to anyone who ever feels so inclined to tell me I might like a book, because I promise I do read it, and I do typically add it to my TBR if it sounds like something I'm interested in. Okay, I just came back from the grocery store. I was cleaning up, and now I'm making lunch. You can hear the salmon in the background. I'm listening to the Shuddering, and I have been since I've been doing all of this. And I have 2 hours left. And I'm just like, when are we gonna get to the murders of the actual main characters of this book? Like, I want them to be fucking Ian. And remember earlier how I was telling you something that's making me uncomfortable in this is the fact that we have 2 characters, right? We have Sawyer and we have Jane. And Sawyer and Jane used to be in a relationship when they were in high school. This is not a spoiler, but I'm going to throw a spoiler on the screen just in case, although it's really not central to the plot whatsoever. Anyway, okay, they used to be in a relationship. And you remember early on how I mentioned I really didn't like it because at the very least, Sawyer was emotionally cheating on his fucking girlfriend with his ex. And the fact that they were only together briefly in high school, and I'm supposed to believe that 20 fucking years later, they're still that into each other, is ridiculous. But here's just what pissed me off, okay? What really pissed me off. He got into a fight with his fiance, April, who is pregnant with his baby. And she, of course, is like, you are in love with Jane, like that you were planning to cheat on me. Yes, he was. Literally, in his point of view, in his fucking thoughts. He's like, yeah, I didn't want her to come because my hope was that I would get to be with Jane and we would get to sneak off and I would have a torrid affair with the girl that got away. This man literally confessed to wanting to cheat on his fiance, who's pregnant. And April, of course, does not respond well. She's like, we're leaving. We're fucking leaving because this is ridiculous. And in her anger, she breaks the news to Jane because obviously she knows that Sawyer is being fucking shady and says, I'll see you at the wedding. And Sawyer, I'm not going to say that's not petty, but I am going to say, you know, maybe she deserved to have that anger because she fucking did. So Sawyer, in his point of view, is like, maybe this marriage isn't the right thing because what kind of girl would say something and deliver such a low blow? Sir, you were planning to cheat on her. Literally planning to cheat on her. And her telling your ex that you are engaged is the low blow. Men, I fucking cannot. Ew. I hope he gets eaten. That's all I'm saying. I hope that car gets pulled over and he gets fucking eaten. The only person I'm hoping stays alive is Jane and Lauren. No, ew, not Jane. April, his fiance, and Lauren. The rest of them, eaten. I'm waiting for it. This is what's actually going through my mind as I'm reading this book. These boys ain't shit, and I'm not fucking here for it. And also, to the monsters in the book, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. I love that I'm having so much fun with reading this book, even if they are fucking pissing me off and I don't find any of the characters lovable. It's fun to root for the monster though. Like, I hope they taste good. Ooh. Genuinely, bestie, I hope you get a nice meal from that. Good morning. Actually, it's 1 p.m., so it's afternoon. I cannot even begin to fathom how long this vlog is going to be because now that my reading slump is over, I'm very much into everything that I'm reading, and I just want to pick up the camera all the time and just ramble and talk to you about the books. But I want to give you an update on this book, which is I Married a Minotaur. Gotta love the fun names. Okay, so our heroine just met her husband and was offered a deal. I don't know how much to tell you because could this be a spoiler? Maybe. So I'm not going to go into detail. I'm just going to say something about their marriage requirements is making me uncomfortable. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I think they're going to be a really fun couple to follow. So I'm excited to see that, even if one of our characters who I've previously loved in a series seems very arrogant in this book, which is very out of character for him. But anyway, and I'm also going to give you an update on this book, The Shuddering. I'm in still the final 2 hours because somehow, regardless of how long I listen to this book, it stays at 2 hours. I am really enjoying it. It's definitely picking up. I can tell the murder stuff is about to happen. I'm not going to keep harping on the same things that I told you. I don't know how to talk to you about this book without spoiling it. I've already spoiled it before, so I'm going to tell you is that we are getting to the murdery scenes, and I'm still rooting for those fucking monsters because these people suck. Spoiler filled. For those of you who don't plan to read this book or who have already read this book and want to hear my spoiler-filled thoughts, spoiler bar is here. So when this bar goes away, you can watch the video. This is very much following a horror movie like plot line. And why April? Why April? My girl's innocent. She didn't do shit. She literally did not do anything but love this man. And this man ain't shit. How fucking dare he literally crash his car, sabotage it on purpose so that his girlfriend would break up with him and he could safely sleep with Jane, who has her own shit, okay? She has a lot of history and background with her father and a lot of trauma around that because her father constantly cheated on their mother, and that really broke their family and broke their perception of love. And I'm like, you dumb fucking bitch. If that is a trauma that you have, why do you feel it is okay to cheat with this man who was your high school boyfriend 20 years ago? You just got divorced. What the fuck is wrong with... What's wrong with both of them? Not just Jane. Sawyer and Jane, I hope their asses go out into the woods to cheat and get eaten by the fucking monster. But as you heard me say, why April? Okay, April gets really mad at her boyfriend and she's stomping away, hoping that he's gonna give a fuck about his fiance and his child and go after her in the middle of a fucking snowstorm. Obviously, he's a piece of shit, so he doesn't. And my poor girl is being hunted by the monsters. This is the only time where I'm like, I'm not rooting for the monsters in this case. I think April was innocent. She didn't do anything but want to spend time with her boyfriend and subconsciously know that her boyfriend was a cheating piece of shit. She didn't do anything. Anyway, I'm gonna have to finish this book. My arm is really hurting from holding this phone up. Talk about no arm strength. So I'm gonna see you with the next update. Hello, it's Friday and I figured let me actually have a good transition here and not just cut to the montage. I unexpectedly got like a refund for a medical bill, but they give it to me in a prepaid credit card, a prepaid debit card. Speaking, you know, it's hard sometimes. And I was like, you know what? There's very few things that I want. Some computer parts, which that card definitely is not going to purchase, or books. So I'm on my way to book off now. So I'll cut it to editing for the book shopping montage. There was indeed nothing to show you at the bookstore, and I tried to listen to the Shuddering. Let me just say, we are in Sawyer and Jane's perspective when they are alone together, and I'm like, ew, ew, ew. I sped that chapter up to 3.5 times speed just to get through it, because I'm like, no, you two don't deserve happiness. You don't. And not because of the whole cheating thing, which it's a book, right? But because of how fucking hypocritical they are, like, just disgusts me. It really does. I'm in my office now, editing the video that's gonna go up on Saturday. As I mentioned, it's Friday. I can't even listen to 2 seconds of this because I know where it's going. And I'm just like, oh, if I could jump into this book and throttle these two characters, I fucking would. I've already mentioned, they're pining for each other. Fucking unrealistic. Sawyer ain't shit. Literally planned to come up here and cheat on his pregnant fiance. Like, literally, what the fuck is wrong with this man? And then to have the audacity to be upset that his fiance is upset and to let her go out into a snowstorm where she would fucking freeze to death is absurd. And to let his best friend go and find her while he's the one. And Jane. Bitch, you just got divorced because your husband was cheating on you. What makes you think that it's okay for you to do that? Besties, if I skip chapter 8, whatever this is, this chapter, do I still get to say that I finished the whole book? Because I know what this is leading to, and it pisses me off. These two characters infuriate me. I don't know how loud that music is for you. It's also competing with the howling of the wind, so I hope that it's not too bad. But I don't know how I'm gonna edit this because I've been doing a lot of like spoilery updates, and if you're watching the non-spoiler version of this vlog, I'm going to tell you that I am on chapter 9 of The Shuddering, which is about like 70%. I only have a few chapters left, and we've just gotten to the creatures and the confrontation with our main characters. This is not a spoiler, so I feel comfortable saying it, but it also will make sense to those of you who are watching the spoiler version of the vlog and are not skipping clips. I like how the author was able to really kind of master that pivot of they're talking about like the most mundane things, and when it comes to their survival, it puts everything into perspective for them. It snaps together, but not in the way that I think is like cheesy over the top. They very much feel like they're trying to survive. With that said, maybe I'm still rooting for the monsters. I don't know, but they are highly intelligent, and from what I know and can tell, they hunt in packs. Also, I'm really happy with how my curls turned out today. Just gonna say that. Sorry, the camera angle is low. I'm hiding the fact that I haven't cleaned my kitchen yet. Yep, it's been the whole week. My video is exporting, that's going up tomorrow, which is Saturday. So while it's doing that, I'm going to go and get dinner just because I don't feel like cooking and I'm craving a cheeseburger. So that's what we're gonna go get. I don't think you can hear this, but there's a full-on thunderstorm outside. It's been a while. There it is. The rumble, like lightning and thunder and like heavy rain. I'm at home obviously, but it's been a while since there's been a storm. I finished The Shuddering. I'm gonna give you my full thoughts in the morning, but just know it feels like a very typical Anya Alborn ending that reminded me a lot of If You See Her. It ended with the same kind of, I would spoil it. Just know it's somewhat of an unsatisfying ending if you're looking for the story to be wrapped up in a neat bow. And as much as I've been hating on these characters, I was like, damn, you don't deserve happiness with each other. I didn't say you didn't deserve your life. Oh, it's gonna be so hard to talk to you about this story without spoiling, so I will split it into spoiler sections and non-spoiler sections, but I literally just finished like 30 seconds ago, so I'm gonna need time to process it. And if you're wondering how I'm listening to a Kindle Unlimited book, some Kindle Unlimited books also have the Audible companion, which you can sync together. So if you're reading physically, the audiobook is automatically keeping up with you. That's how it works. But I'll see you in the morning with my official thoughts. For tonight, I'm gonna continue on with I Married a Minotaur, which should be a very fun bedtime read. This lighting is very good. flattering. I don't think you can actually hear me. By the way, I can't even hear myself. This is why I stopped at Starbucks at Target, obviously. You can see the little Target signs. Just for some breakfast, and then I'm going to wander around the store. It's been a while since I've been to Target. Oh my gosh, my eyebrows are finally growing back. I like them thick. Anyway, just wanted to give you that little update as I wait for my breakfast sandwich. So I have to show you something. Since when does Target have clearance books? I've never seen that. Up there is I'm the Girl by Courtney Summers. Half off. It's $7 right now. I think that's more than half off considering that it's a hardcover book. Yeah, they're mostly Christmas books, obviously, but still, that's a good deal. And also I want to show you these album covers because I think they're pretty, even though I don't have a record player. Like, look at this midnight cover. Ignore my reflection. Billie Eilish, this album cover was always beautiful. The Encanto cover, I think, would just make really nice wall art, but it's ridiculous. Well, $22 is about the price of a nice poster, so maybe. I just think like these record covers are so pretty, and I genuinely do like having them on the wall. This is not a joke. I've always loved classical covers of modern songs, like always been into it, and obviously that's Bridgerton's whole thing, so that would actually be a really fun album to own. Okay, I'm back home now. I was just doing a little bit of gardening. I'm also watching The Sims, which is making me so jealous. I'm waiting for my gaming PC because right now the computer that I have, for some reason, all of the frames have dropped. I could fix it, but I'm getting a new computer, so I'm not going to fix it. 20 frames per second for a game is so laggy. It's actually ridiculous. But I finished with Target. I was doing some gardening. I did finally pick up my pH and like soil moisture sticks. That's these things here. This is the pH one. And it helped me with figuring out that I am in fact underwatering my plants because at the root level, the soil is dry. If you don't care about that, don't worry. We're gonna talk about books in a minute. I'm still reading the Minotaur book, which I'm loving. Like, my girl just handed someone's ass to them, and I love a bad bitch. You all know that I do. At Target, as you saw, there was a like clearance section, and this book was here, which is Blurbed by Allie Hazelwood, and it's about this woman who goes to her like high school reunion and ends up hooking up with her arch nemesis, who is also like a billionaire and is in charge of like her corporation. Lots of fun things going on there. That book was only $3 and it's originally like 12 or 14, somewhere around there. But mainly what I picked up was Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute, which is a lot smaller than I thought it was, but you all know that I love Talia Hibbert, and she's gonna look so good with my other the Brown Sisters trilogy, with my other Talia Hibbert books on my bookshelf, assuming that she is 5 stars because those books sit on the 5-star shelf. Wow, if the camera just suddenly switches because I turned around. I did pick up my Fairyloot adult box. I also have my final YA box ever. This is my final adult box ever that came, so I figured we could sit down and unbox it together. That's the angle that we're gonna work with. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to do this, and that might be better. I know the angle isn't perfect, so apologies for that. But here she is, my final adult Fairyloot box. You know what would really help with opening this? Scissors. Am I gonna get up to get scissors? Probably. The scissors have been acquired. Let's see what she is. This is like so bittersweet because this is my last adult box. I just decided to cut that expense. This is the card. I'm not gonna look at it, but you can look at it because I was just spoiled. I was just spoiled because I was like, oh, it's just gonna be pretty. And then I had it like this and my eyes read the fucking book. But I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm gonna let you not be spoiled by what it is. But I cannot believe I have this book in my possession. Just, this is your little preview. Bitch. Bitch. Look at that. She's so pretty. I've never seen sprayed edges like that. Like, they really went all out. It's the last tale of the Flower Bride by Rashani Chokshi. I'm so fucking excited. This was on my like most anticipated books of 2023, and I have my hands on it. Not only do I have my hands on it, but she's beautiful. Look at these sprayed edges. This is the most iconic fucking book that I have right now. It can sit right next to Daughter of the Moon Goddess and Babel. Let's see. We have a signed nameplate, so I'm definitely gonna pop that into the book. I'm actually just going to pop that in now. Otherwise, I will lose it. You're not even ready. You are not even ready for the gorgeousness that is the inside. Look at the inside pages. Look at that stained glass detail. Look at this. This is about best friends, so I'm assuming that's each other. And then here's the naked book in all of her beautiful, stunning, amazing, gorgeous story. The sleeve is nothing. I mean, they used to, or some of my editions do have art on the sleeve as well. This is just, as you can see, a plain sleeve, but these sprayed edges and it being signed with the nameplate, the peacocks, like the gold, the foiling, the edges, the fully, all of the edges are sprayed. This is a 7-minute clip. Oh my gosh. I did not intend for it to be 7 minutes, but y'all, talk about going out with a bang. Okay, y'all, it is the final day of this vlog. Ignore the fact that I am breaking out. Fun times. Okay, so I wanted to give you my final thoughts on the Shuddering and I Married a Minotaur, which I finished last night. Let's start with I Married a Minotaur. It was such cuteness. It was definitely like full of fluff. There was no major third act conflict, and it was just a cute, adorable time to read about these two characters and their struggles, political struggles within this world and the war that they were trying to prevent. It was so fun to see some of the characters from the first couple of books, like I Married a Birdman, and also one of the first characters from I Married a Lizard Man. They don't actually show up, but there's a lot of reference to her and the people from her planet, which I just thought was really fun little, what do you call those? It's not eggshells. I'm forgetting the word for it, but little like references for people who would know. I thought that was really cute, and while I loved our characters and just thought they were so sweet together, I wish that we had gotten more time for their romantic interactions, because at about 60% of the way through the book we just kind of rushed to the resolution. So I'm overall giving this book 4 stars. With the Shuddering, I'm settling on a rating of 3.5 stars. I really did enjoy it, but a lot of the things that I mentioned earlier on in this vlog still apply, and that I think spending about 60% of the book on their drama was unnecessary. And I think that we were going for like this cinematic view in the book, I guess, because we had our main characters, but every once in a while we would cut to another scene where these random people are getting murdered, and instead of building tension in the story, I found that it was just messing with the pacing, because we would be in these super slow scenes where our characters aren't suspecting anything, people would get murdered, and then we would come back to this super slow scene where our characters still are suspecting nothing. I mentioned this in my initial update, but I do think the ending was a little bit too unsatisfying in that there was no real resolution. And also, I'll put the spoiler bar back up here for those of you who've been watching the spoiler version of this vlog. I do think that it's also unrealistic, because these group of people that come in this van, right, they come and they see a bloody massacre. This girl has literally just gone through extreme amount of trauma. Instead of going further into the woods to the cabin, I don't think that their instinct would be to do that. I think it would be to go back into town and get some help, because it's literally a bloodbath. The second thing that I don't think is realistic is that when they put her in the car and they tell her they're going back to the cabin that she just came from, they don't know that obviously, she freaks out, she tries to get out, but she doesn't explain like why. And I get that she's catatonic, but at this point she's endured so much trauma and survival that I think her instincts would still be kicked in unless she had resigned herself to death. Also, the whole like Ryan plot, so Ryan is Jane's twin sister. He goes to try to fight off the monsters, and I think he realizes that his instinct here of, oh, if I fight the monsters, they're gonna leave Jane alone. I think he knows that's not true, and what he's really struggling with is survivor's guilt and wanting to escape this situation. But in true like horror movie style, of course, as soon as he does that, the van comes literally like maybe 20 minutes later. So yeah, those are my final thoughts on The Shuddering. I did have a good time with it. I think it had some pacing issues. We spent way too long on the rich people drama. I hated the cheating subplots, and I felt like we needed more tension in the story leading up to the point where the monsters have actually shown themselves to our main characters. It does give me very much Until Dawn vibes. I'm just saying the creatures in the way that they're described remind me of these creatures, which have happened with horror books that I've read before, right? If you describe long, very emaciated creatures with giant heads and jagged teeth and bright yellow eyes, I'm gonna picture the Until Dawn creature. That's just because I like gaming and I watch a lot of Until Dawn streams. But with that said, yesterday, as I was wrapping up, I realized that this vlog is already an hour long, and I did the initial edits yesterday and I've only got it down to 40 minutes. So I'm gonna end it here. Subscribe if you would like to, and I shall see you next time. Bye.